This video will show you how to connect together your standard electronics used on our Balsa Basics planes, such as the Balsa Basics Cub, the Super Cub, Spitfire and Messerschmitt BF109. We currently do 3 different electronic packs, but they all hook up in the same way. This video will show you how to hook up your standard power pack with the mid-size 2213B motor. For the larger higher power Speed C motor, all that's different is that you're going to be using a slightly bigger motor, but it still plugs in the same. For the Mini A motor electronics pack, you just have a slightly smaller motor and a smaller electronic speed controller to hook up. Everything will go together in the same way. Here's an overview of what parts are included in an electronics pack. The motor is self-explanatory really. It's a brushless outrunner motor, meaning that the bell or outside of the motor rotates around the core. You bolt a propeller included in the kit directly to the sturdy prop shaft. 3 wires come from the motor. Each one of these wires phase power, ground and signal, which means that they can be plugged into the speed controller like this in any order. The speed controller is the heart of your system and is responsible for taking power from the flight battery and pumping it mostly to the motor, but some to the receiver and other electronics, such as the servos. The speed controller should come to you with soldered connections. If for some reason you don't have soldered connections on the electronic speed controller that you're using, you will need to solder them on yourself. Soldering is a good skill to have in the RC hobby as it allows you to change connectors and work with other electronics. You can first tin your wires and connection points like this. Next, you can press the wires into the tinned connection points and apply heat with the iron. It is extremely important on the battery connector that you get the positive and negative the right way around, with the positive and negative ESC power leads. This XD60 connector has a positive and negative symbol on each side. These bullet connectors can be attached like so. Make sure to wrap these electronic components completely in heat shrink or electrical tape so that the outsides can't make contact with each other. Now it's time to connect the speed controller to the transmitter and receiver, the brain of the system. Every transmitter is a bit different. This RadioLink T8FB is powered by 4 AA batteries and immediately binds to the receiver when both are powered on. Please refer to your transmitter's manual to go through the binding process. Every transmitter is different, as I say. For this one, first you'll need to power on your receiver so it can be found. This involves connecting it to the ESC. Each set of pins on the receiver is a separate channel on your receiver. A channel is a function such as throttle. Throttle on this receiver is channel 3. When everything's powered on and bound together, the throttle stick can control the motor. That's the main part of the system done. So basically everything fits together like this, but remember that the receiver that you're using might be different to this one. Aside from throttle, the other channels on this radio system are ailerons, elevator and rudder, and a few auxiliary channels as well. But we don't really need to worry about those for a simple 4-channel aeroplane that only uses throttle, ailerons, elevator and rudder. You can pair servos together using a Y-harness if you need to. This can be useful for aileron aircraft such as the Spitfire or the Super Cub. Extensions can be used to extend the servo wires. Make sure to test everything before putting it in your aeroplane. Before embarking on a build, you should really set up your power system like this and make sure that everything is working properly. Your motor should spin counterclockwise when viewed from the front. If you need to reverse the direction, you can simply swap 2 of the 3 motor wires to change the phase of the motor, which tells it to spin the other way around. Take a look at your propeller if you're unsure of which way the motor should spin, and work out which way it needs to turn to propel the air. With that, you're ready to install your electronics into your model.